What the Buddha taught. One of the most well-known statements attributed to the Buddha is, "Life is suffering." This phrase, however, is often misunderstood. It does not mean that life is only about pain and sorrow, nor that joy and beauty don't exist. Instead, it points to a deeper truth about the nature of human experience, one that is central to Buddhist philosophy. This teaching is expressed in the Pali term Dukkha, the first of the Four Noble Truths, which form the foundation of all Buddhist thought and practice. Understanding Dukkha. Dukkha is usually translated as suffering, but this translation does not capture its full depth. In the original Pali, Dukkha refers to many forms of dissatisfaction, stress, unease, and sorrow. It includes Dukkha, ordinary suffering, pain, illness, aging, death, grief. Viparinama Dukkha, suffering from change. When something pleasant changes or ends. Sankhara Dukkha, suffering due to conditioned states. The unsatisfactoriness of all things that arise from causes and conditions. Dukkha is not just about intense pain, it includes the subtle anxiety we feel in wanting things to last when they don't, the stress of constantly trying to manage and control life, and the frustration of never feeling fully complete. The first noble truth, there is Dukkha. The Buddha began his teaching with a diagnosis. Much like a doctor diagnosing an illness. He observed that life, as it is commonly lived, contains suffering. The first noble truth, known in Pali as Dukkha Arya Sikha, is, birth is suffering, aging is suffering, illness is suffering, death is suffering. Association with the unloved is suffering, separation from the loved is suffering, not getting what one wants is suffering. In short, the five aggregates subject to clinging are suffering. This was not a pessimistic declaration but a realistic observation. The Buddha was not saying there is no happiness in life, but rather that even our happiness is impermanent and often tied up with conditions beyond our control. The root of Dukkha, tanha, craving. Having diagnosed the problem of suffering, the Buddha identified its cause in the second noble truth, craving, or tanha. This refers to thirst, a constant longing or desire for things to be different than they are. There are three main types of craving. Number 1. Kama tanha, craving for sensual pleasure. Desire for pleasant sights, sounds, tastes, etc. Number 2. Bhava tanha, craving for existence or becoming. Wanting to be someone, to become something. Number 3. Vibhava tanha, craving for non-existence. Desire for oblivion or escape from unpleasantness. Craving causes suffering because it ties our happiness to external circumstances. When we get what we want, we fear losing it. When we don't get it, we feel frustration. And even when things are good, we often want more. Impermanence and Dukkha. Anicca. A central theme in Buddhist teaching is impermanence. Everything we experience, relationships, possessions, thoughts, emotions, even our own identity, is in flux. Nothing lasts forever. We suffer because we cling to things as if they were permanent. For example, we fall in love and try to hold on to the feeling, but over time relationships evolve. We enjoy success, but fear failure. We grow attached to youth, but aging is inevitable. Thus, even our joys are shadowed by the fact that they can't be held forever. The Buddha saw that clinging to impermanent things leads to sorrow, and that understanding their nature frees us from suffering. The self and Dukkha. Athat. Another fundamental cause of suffering is the belief in a fixed self. We tend to see ourselves as solid, permanent entities. This gives rise to pride, insecurity, competition, fear of death, and a constant need to defend and enhance our identity. Anatta. The Buddha taught non-self. The idea that what we call self is actually a collection of ever-changing physical and mental processes, form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. The five aggregates. When we realize that there is no fixed I to protect or satisfy, we become freer and more compassionate. Much of our suffering comes from the illusion that we are a separate, enduring ego struggling against the world. Samsara, the cycle of suffering. In Buddhist cosmology, the world we live in is part of samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, driven by karma and craving. As long as craving and ignorance persist, beings are reborn again and again, experiencing all forms of suffering. Samsara is not a physical place but a state of mind, characterized by delusion, clinging, and aversion. The goal of Buddhist practice is to liberate oneself from samsara and attain nirvana, a state beyond suffering, beyond clinging, and beyond ego. Nara, the end of suffering. The third noble truth is the truth of the cessation of dukkha. The Buddha taught that suffering is not eternal. When craving ceases, suffering ceases. This state is known as nirvana nibbana, the extinguishing of the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion. Nirvana is not a place, but a state of complete peace and liberation. It is freedom from the causes of suffering. The Buddha described it as unborn, unbecome, unmade, unconditioned. This realization doesn't necessarily happen after death. The Buddha emphasized that freedom can be realized in this very life through insight, mindfulness, and ethical conduct. The Eightfold Path. The path to the end of suffering. To reach the end of suffering, the Buddha prescribed a practical path, the Noble Eightfold Path, which is the fourth noble truth. It consists of: Number 1. Right view. Understanding dukkha, impermanence, non-self. Number 2. Right intention. Renunciation, non-ill will, compassion. Number 3. Right speech. Truthfulness, kindness, no gossip. Number 4. Right action. Refraining from killing, stealing, and misconduct. Number 5. Right livelihood, ethical means of support. Number 6. Right effort. Cultivating wholesome states, abandoning unwholesome ones. Number 7. Right mindfulness. Present moment awareness of body, feelings, mind, and phenomena. Number 8. Right concentration. Deep states of meditation. This path is not just intellectual, it is transformational, guiding one from confusion to clarity, from restlessness to calm, and from suffering to liberation. Facing suffering with wisdom and compassion. The Buddha never asked people to believe in suffering blindly. He encouraged investigation, come and see. Ihipasiko. He taught people to observe their own minds and bodies, to see where suffering arises, and to realize its causes. He also taught that we must approach suffering not with fear or denial, but with understanding and compassion both for ourselves and others. Example from Metta Sutta. Just as a mother protects her only child, even at the risk of her own life, so let us cultivate a boundless heart toward all beings. When we truly understand dukkha, we develop empathy. We stop judging others harshly because we see that everyone is fighting inner battles. We start to live more gently and lovingly. Why this teaching matters today? In the modern world, people often chase pleasure, success, or comfort, believing these things will bring lasting happiness. Yet depression, anxiety, addiction, and discontent are common. The Buddha's message remains deeply relevant: external things cannot permanently satisfy us. Buddhism doesn't demand blind belief, it offers tools to explore suffering and its end. Meditation, ethical living, and insight into the nature of mind are all practices that can bring clarity and inner peace in today's chaotic world. When the Buddha taught that life is suffering, he wasn't condemning life, he was showing us the way out of suffering. He offered a compassionate, realistic, and empowering path to freedom. By understanding dukkha, we come to see that our restlessness and discontent are not personal failures, but natural consequences of a mind trapped in craving and delusion. When we face suffering with mindfulness, clarity, and compassion, we begin to loosen its grip. The teaching on suffering is not the end, it's the beginning of awakening. It is the doorway through which we begin the path toward liberation, wisdom, and boundless compassion. The Buddha said, "I teach only suffering and the end of suffering." So, friends, we have something to learn. All these things are perishable, so engage in wholesome activities without delay. Follow the path taught by the Buddha to escape from this suffering.